What is going on, everyone? Jeff Woods here with the One Thing team. Wanted to first and foremost congratulate you on making an incredible decision to invest in yourself with this platform. Seriously, we are just putting our heart and soul into this, and we really look forward to working with you. I'll share that over the last, at the time that I'm recording this, year and a half working with Gary Keller and Jay Papasan, it's been the most mind-expanding year of my life. A big reason for that is because Gary is a true master of systems. Everything that matters in business, in life, he has created a system for. We are about to show you our system for setting goals, for making sure that we understand how to act in order of priority, and to bring accountability not only into our lives, but also into the lives of the people that report to us as well. So we are really, really excited to share this training with you. To begin accessing your 411 below this video, you will see a link. You can go ahead and click that and it will open up this screen right here. Now, right off the bat, at the top it says important, do not edit directly in this document. This is a template. So basically what this means, this is a Google Sheet. So every single one of you has access to this. And if I were to start filling out all the stuff in here, somebody else could come in and erase it. This is a live document that all of us have access to. So you want to make sure that first and foremost, you make your own version. How do you do that? We have made this really simple. So to create your own, click File above, and just below the title of the document, click Make a Copy. And then actually you can, step 3, it's in the new version, rename the document by clicking the title above. It's actually going to ask you here. So I would put Woods 411 template. Okay, and it's going to open up a brand new window. And so it's already renamed at the top. If it didn't, if you want to change your name later, you can go ahead and just click right up here and then start filling out your 411. Should you need some help remembering this, we're also going to hyperlink to the video that you're watching right here. All right, so let's talk about what the 411 is. This is our internal document for setting goals for the year, the month, and the week, and to make sure that we understand what we need to do in order of priority. So right at the top, it says my annual goals, and you'll see at this time we put in 2017. So as the years progress, we update this. This is a live document, so eventually it'd be 2018, 2019, okay? So 2017 at the time. Now, we have job on the left side and personal on the right-hand side, and I'm actually just going to hide or delete all this. So give me one second. That way it's nice and clean for you. We like clean. Okay. You have your job on the left and you have personal on the right. Now, why do you think it's important for us to look at both your professional goals and your personal goals? I think Jay Papasan said it best. He talks about when he's managing people, when he's reviewing their 411s, he goes to the personal side first every single time he looks at it. We asked why. He said because most often when people leave a professional opportunity, very rarely or quite often, the reason is not necessarily the job itself. It might be something that's going on in their personal life. So if he can first and foremost help make sure that people are accomplishing their personal goals, that they are happy in their personal life outside of work, the chances of them staying with the organization are a lot higher. And also the level of trust that they have in Jay goes through the roof. So we want you, this is about living a counterbalanced life. This is about living a full life, a life of no regret. We want you to cast goals for both your professional and your personal lives. Now, we start at the top and we ask what really matters to me this year. And you can go ahead and you will go ahead and fill those out. I'm actually going to tweak this a little bit so that you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. Okay, here we go. Now, why you do this. So job number 1, my professional goals. This is your opportunity to start filling in what matters to you this year. You might write, and I'll actually just show you mine. Boom. Bam! Here we go. So my number 1 goal for the year is to build a team. If I can only do one thing this year, it is to build a team. Now, under that, I have very specific bullets. You can see I have a contractor for content marketing that is crossed out because I've already accomplished it. Onboard my executive assistant and verify if they are the one. That is already crossed out because I have accomplished it. Renegotiate a very specific agreement. That is crossed out because I've already done it. Now it's about contracting or hire a B2B leader. We want to ultimately create training for the corporate space for an enterprise level. That will not be me to do this running the company. That will be a person. So I need to go out and recruit that person now. So it's super clear of where my next focus is. You can also see for personal goals, family is number one. Health is number 2. And then corporate speaking gigs is number 3. But if I can only do one thing for my family, it's for us to spend 1 month in California. Should I earn the right to do a second thing, it's making sure we have quality, focused family time every day. And you know what? I'm actually going to update this live. This is out of priority. What really matters here is everything is in order of priority. And I can tell you right now that having quality focus time every single day matters more to our family than spending 1 month in California. So I'm glad that we're doing this together, because what I want you to see here is that this is not something that is written in stone. This is a flexible document. It is living, it is breathing, and you update it. I update mine on a weekly basis. Okay, so let's get back over here. So build a team, build a tribe of raving fans, and there's very specific things that I'm going to do under this. Create quality training and tools. Lay the foundation for productive as a platform. Okay, so for you, you begin with the annual. And I want to give you permission, give yourself permission to really spend some time here. Oftentimes people will feel like they have to rush through this, but you'll see what happens here. Making sure that you're clear on what your annual goals are really, really matters, because it drives everything else. Because the moment that you feel like you're good about what you want to accomplish for your goals on a yearly level for your professional and your personal, then we're going to ask the question, what do I need to accomplish this month in order to be on track for that year? What you're going to start to find is that this is not a to-do list. This is a must-do list. These are the big rocks. This is the 20%. You've heard of the rule 80-20? The idea that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your activities. We are trying to identify those 20% big rocks that you need to be focusing on. Most people go through life just doing what's on their calendar, just doing what's easy to do, whatever other people ask from them. Very rarely do they take a step back, though, and ask the question, what do I really need to get accomplished, and what's the one thing that I can do such that by doing it would make everything else easier or unnecessary? What are those 20% big rocks, and how do I hold myself accountable to taking action on those rocks first? That's what this is about. So we'll use mine as a live example. That's not mine. This is mine. Okay, so we've got my annual goals. We're good there. Now when we go down to the month, again, these are in order of priority, and this matters. Number 1, launch membership founding members group. If I only do one thing in the month of April, it is to launch this membership group. I haven't, well, you know what? In fact, at this point, it is launched. It's considered launched, so I guess I can cross that out. So you'll see here, I'm just going to strike that through. Okay, boom! Number 2, for my executive assistant, establish a rhythm for accountability and feedback. We have actually accomplished that. Great, I get to strike that out. Establish calendar timelines. We are going to be creating a physical journal/calendar. So, and I have my assistant's name here, meaning I'm delegating that to her. That's not done yet. That stays off. Source new content contractor. That stays off. Get started with podcast ads. Haven't done that yet. Launch. I've done half of this. So I'll strike out this cell right here. Nope. All right, I'm just going to take it off because I can't segment it into 2. Agreement on something else. Haven't done that yet. Okay, personal. Communicate when I'm coming home daily. This is a constant thing. Family activity to transition. I've already done this, meaning I struggle sometimes with transitioning from work to play. So that helps me. Establish a family budget. We're doing it tonight. Block California and family vacation. We're doing it tonight. So I'll get to cross this off soon. Now, here's the thing about these. I've got a lot of things I need to do this month. There's probably a list of 30 things, big rocks that I need to do, but this is not my laundry list. This is my must-do list. This is me drawing a line in the sand and saying, no ifs, no ands, no buts. I must get these things done. So when we go to your 411, when you look at your annual goals, you're going to start making a list of the things that you need to do. Sorry, guys, this is the wrong version. The things that you need to do, and make sure that they are in order of priority. Here's how you can tell if they're in order of priority. If we were to we'll go back to mine, and we'll say, great, if I were to wipe all of these clean, if I just did this one thing, would it be a successful month? In this case, the answer is yes. That's how I know it's my number 1 priority. Now, should that happen, if I were to say, should I earn the right to focus on anything else? If I were to establish a rhythm of accountability and feedback with my executive assistant, would that be a productive month? The answer is yes. That's why I know it's number 2. Okay? If get started with podcast ads was number 3, I would not feel right because I know that these things need to get done. They're more important and they're more urgent. That's why they're in order. So give yourself permission to really ask the question, are these in order of priority? It matters. Here is why. Because once you establish what your goals are for the month, you go down and you ask, what must I accomplish this week? Such that by accomplishing it would line me up to accomplish my goals for the month. Again, this is where it can get really easy to turn this into a to-do list. You are not looking for a laundry list of 10 things. You are, again, drawing the line in the sand and saying, what must I accomplish this week? So I get more specific for my founding members launch, doing Facebook Lives every day, shooting this 411 video. I'm doing it right now, meaning I get to cross this off as soon as I'm done. And then starting a content calendar for all of you in the membership program, okay? These are the things I must do before I do podcast interviews, before I work on benchmarking and financial models for our coaching program, before I work on defining what a CEO looks like. I must get these things done. Here's where the real transformation comes. When you take the time to ask yourself, what really matters to me this year, professionally and personally? What, and are they in order of priority, by the way? What must I accomplish this month to be on track for my year in order of priority? And then you say, what do I need to accomplish this week in order to be on track for this month in order of priority? This is where the personal accountability goes through the roof. I'll be very transparent. Yesterday, I recorded 2 podcast interviews. 2. So I'm halfway to my goal. Here's the problem. Is this my one thing? If I were put in the position where literally I could only cross off one of these, if I could only take action on one line item, did I show up in the world as the highest version, the highest leverage, the most productive form of myself? No, I didn't. However, when I was doing those podcast interviews, because I had already done my 411, I knew I was acting out of priority. I was hyper aware of it. It was very top of mind. It was conscious that I was acting out of priority. So why did I do it? Well, because I had interviews scheduled in advance with these people, and I wanted to honor those commitments. Honoring those commitments to those people at that time was more important to me than acting in order of priority. Here's why I share this with you. I'm the one shooting this video for you right now. I'm the one trying to train you how to operate in order of priority, and I'm telling you, I still don't do it 100% of the time. Give yourself permission to fail. If you walk in with the expectation that you will be perfect every single time, I promise you, you will be very, very disappointed. You will fail. You will fail every single week when it comes to acting in order of priority. This is not about being perfect. This is about the road to mastery. Every single week, asking the question, how did I do last week? And how do I do a little bit better this week? And a little bit better next week? And a little bit better next week? When I first started working with Gary and Jay and I were just talking about this. He was saying, when I first started reviewing your 411s, they were a mess. Fast forward a year and a half, I'm a completely different person. I don't even think about it, but I just now it's a habit. I just do my most important work first the majority of the time. That is the purpose of our time together in this membership platform. Wherever you are, whether this is your first time experiencing the 411, whether you've been using it for years, ask yourself the question, where am I in terms of living a life of priority? And how do I get just a little bit better this week? We don't care if you're just starting. We don't care if you think you're an expert. How can you get better? That's the road to mastery. That's the first commitment of the one thing, is living the road to mastery. So once you get clear on your year, once you get clear on your month, ask yourself the question, what are the big rocks that I must do this week? Put them down and then put them in order of priority. Then start taking action and begin to notice how you do. You may completely fail. I failed so bad my first time. It's like I didn't even look at it. I had to learn to print it out and carry it with me everywhere I go. I had to learn to always have this open on my computer. And that's just what works for me. That may or may not work for you. But it's about establishing the baseline and getting started. Now, this is the one document that I use everywhere I go. So we also want to have space for some additional things that you'll see below. And it's 20% big rocks and 80% tasks. Here's what this is. I told you above, is this a to-do list? No, it is a must-do list. It is a must-do list for your big rocks, the things that truly will move your business or your personal life forward. But what if you need to make a note of something else that you need to do, but it doesn't earn the right to be on the week or on the month? Here's where this section comes below. I have some 20% big rocks that really matter to me, but they haven't earned the right to be on my month or my week yet. So I put them down here. Example, I mentioned above, you saw that right here, contract or hire a B2B leader. I told you we want to go ultimately into the corporate training space. You'll see right here, enterprise training, engaging companies to identify pain points. So I want to get on the phone with some of these companies, really start to understand what their pain is. Just like when we do our founding members groups, we want to work with you directly to identify what your pain points are before we create something. I'm going to do the exact same thing with bigger companies. That hasn't earned the right to be on my actual 411 yet. So this is a nice little parking lot for that idea. Big podcast contracts, I want to something different there that I want to explore. So I haven't earned the right to focus on it yet, but I still want to have a place where I can capture it. Identifying my first year story, the 5 things we accomplished in the first 12 months. This is something Jay suggested that I do. I haven't earned the right to focus on it yet. It's not high enough priority yet. A budget and business flow graphics. That's something else for our business I need to get done. Hasn't earned the right to focus on it yet. These are big rocks. But what about the little things? Well, that's where this 80% thing comes into play. Like I need to do an intro and outro for one of the podcast episodes. There's some speaking gigs that people have asked me to speak for, and we need to follow up with them. Doing some press releases. I need to get a flu shot. That doesn't earn the right. That doesn't go up here. That's an 80% item, okay? So this can be your parking lot. At one point in time, this list was like 30 things long. And, it just, at least it was there. At least I had a spot for it. So let's take an overview one more time. So for you, you will look at your goals and you'll write down your goals. Try to get them in priority. You're going to constantly be tweaking it. Get your goals for your personal life as well for the year. Try to get them in order of priority, and you can tweak them as you move forward. And then ask the question for this month. What must I get done this month? Such that by getting it done will keep me on track for my annual goals. Make sure they're in order of priority, and then fill in your goals for the week. If you have other things that you want to park on this 411, but they haven't earned the right to be up here yet, if they're 20% numbers, you can go ahead and put them here. And if they're just 80% tasks, if it's your to-do list, feel free to keep it here, folks. All right, that's how you get started. Have this ready, because when it comes time for Monday, for the call that we do, you'll be able to review this. You'll be able to look at your calendar. That's when we really start to take action and implement and live the content. And this is when you begin to experience the explosive growth. So thank you again. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure to access this template, click File, click Make a Copy, rename it as your own, save it somewhere, and we'll be off to the races.